Do you want to see my 2025 faith stack? Then stick around. This is the second time that I've done this. Last year, I enjoyed sharing it, and it was also a great resource for me to go back and see what my plans were. This year, y'all, I got it going on. If y'all could see around me, you would see that I have books everywhere. But this year, I am going to be reading and studying. I've already talked about it a little bit in our Pursuing Purpose mini-series here on my channel. But in this one, I'm going to show you the exact books that I plan to use for the year. Now, with that said, we all know how that goes. Like, we can plan whatever, but at the end of the day, I'm really going to move with how I feel the Holy Spirit is leading me to move. But I do have intentions. I do have plans. So with that said, we're going to get into it. If you are unable to stick around, then don't forget to thumbs up this video and subscribe to my channel. Drop to the bottom and let me know if there's any resources or some of your favorite books that you have planned to read or study when it comes to your faith journey in 2025. And for everybody else, you know the drill. Stick around until after the intro. Go ahead, grab some tea, go get your project, and we are going to chillax and get into this. And I will see all of you who are staying after the introduction. Let's go. I've been down so in love like 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 in love like What's the deal, pickles? Hello, my name is Dana, and welcome to the Freedom Please channel and essenceofme.com. Y'all, your girl's getting her flow back. Feel like I've been recording like every other day, and I know that's not true, but that's what it feels like. So I had already started getting questions when I talked about reading the Bible in 90 days, and I will have that reading plan to share with you all. And I wanted to share with you my faith stack. And so this is where I can sort of talk about what my plans are, and my hope is to come back with updates as I move forward throughout the year. I should have gone back and looked at the 2024 version, but I didn't. So I'm just going to tell you what we got going on, and some of it may be a duplicate. And yeah. So everything that I show, I'm going to try my absolute best to link in my Amazon store. For the reading plan that I created for myself with ChatGPT, I'm going to put that as a downloadable in the description below. So I'm just telling y'all all that up front. So, before I get into the books, I will say this. Number one, everyone has their own plan and own intention and own thing that they're doing. I share this not for comparison, but if you don't have something, or you haven't seen something before, or you don't know how you would incorporate reading or studying the word in your regular schedule, I hope that it can be motivational and maybe even show some resources or tools that maybe you saw but you didn't know, or maybe you've never seen before. And I will also say, you don't need everything to do this. At the end of the day, there are free Bible apps that you can read. There are free plans that you can get. You can go to your local church when it comes to finding a study plan. Like, there are so many options. And so before I get into these, I'm going to let you all know that y'all, my one day I'm gonna just do a whole here. What had happened was my full testimonial, but I will tell you that I have had a goal to study the entire Bible. For many years, I led small groups in my church and also online. There are some people that follow me here on YouTube that have been part of my small groups. And so I believe that I have been gifted, and I absolutely love teaching Bible study. It is something that I've always enjoyed. It's a huge responsibility, but it's something that I've always enjoyed. But I've never studied the entire Bible. I've studied it in pockets, and I've studied whole books in pockets. I've studied passages, between sermons and on your own. And so, a few years ago, it was impressive on my heart to study the entire Bible, but really to begin to document stuff for my kids. And this year is the year that I'm starting that. And honestly, on one hand, I'm nervous because I feel like it's a big undertaking. But the other hand, I'm so excited because there have been some resources that I've stumbled upon, and it makes me feel even more like I'm moving in the right direction. And so with that said, let's jump into this. So there are three primary layers to this. There's reading the Bible, there's studying the Bible, and there's also devotions. And I could even say worship, because I do have a worship playlist, but that's not what this is about. So those are the three areas that I'm going to talk about: reading the Bible, studying the Bible, and devotion. So I'm going to actually start with devotion because it's the easiest, because it's right here. I usually pick devotions that can be read year after year. I try my absolute best not to mark in them, even though I do mark in everything else. I try my best not to mark in them because I do rotate my devotionals. I have some great ones, like Joyce Meyer ones. Oh, she has some of the best devotions. Last year I added in the new Morning Mercies by Paul David Tripp, and I'm gonna bring this one back again. I love the devotions that have it so that you can just find the day of the date and then go right in and read it. And so this one I think this is a great one for a believer at any stage of your walk. And I like to have more than one, because sometimes I'll read a passage and I'm so chewing on it and I don't want to keep going, because many of these two that I have, they sort of feel like they build upon each other. And so with that said, sometimes I'm not always on the exact date, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, so this one by Paul David Tripp, is one of the devotions that I have. The second devotion that I have, that this is going to be the first time that I'm starting this, is Upon Waking by Jackie Hill Perry. And I just started glancing at this, and I was just like, oh, I like this. Now, her devotion is not date specific like the other one. This one is just day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. So it is really good if you just want something different. And I find that having more than one makes it so that I'm like a little more likely to read them. I don't read every single day, the devotions. I do read my Bible, but not the devotions. I usually will do this 3 to 5 times a week, depending on my schedule. But for this coming year, these are the two that will be in my reading area when I sit in my office with my coffee. And so I'll ping pong between these two. If I'm ever traveling, I don't carry them with me. So I will read another devotional that is on my Kindle, but for the most part, these are it. Okay. And yeah, I'm excited about these. Now, what I look for, other than the ease of being able to go in, and whether it's the date or the day, I will usually put a bookmark so I know where I'll leave off. I also like for there to be a prominent display of the scripture, because I do read the scripture that's being referenced. And I do like a very conversational style especially because I'm already studying something else, and to be sort of thought provoking. And so, yeah, these two are it. So those are my devotionals. Next, I'm going to talk about reading. You know what? I didn't say the other area, which is reading in general. I did not say that. And I am reading, I have two books for reading in general. One of them I think I had last year, but I just didn't stop because it's like a 40-day, and I just didn't. I had too much going on, so I'm bringing it back. And I don't think it will be classified as a faith book, but to me it is. So the first one, and the book that I am talking about when I say that, is this book, Claim Your Power: A 40-Day Journey to Dissolve the Hidden Trauma That's Kept You Stuck and Finally Thrive in Your Life's Unique Purpose. I am going to be slowly working my way through this. I know I'm not going to do it in 40 days. And if I do it in 40 days, I'm sure I'm going to wrap back around. This book requires some thought. And so I have been slowly making my way through this, but I'm really excited about this book, and I will classify it as faith because I do bring that together with my faith and like my Bible study and my reading, because I believe my purpose is determined by God. And so so this is one. And then the other book, which I'm reading right now and loving, is this book called Experiencing God: Knowing and Doing the Will of God. This book, I've already started this book. I started it before the New Year started. It was like a few days before. I was like, I couldn't wait. First of all, because I just thought it was a beautiful book. And then I started reading the introductions and I couldn't stop. And then at first I was like, okay, I'm just going to read it. And then I was like, oh no, that's not going to happen. Look at one area. Look at all these notes and highlights. So, so this book. Now, I have a feeling that this is one of those books that you could read and reread and reread and reread. And so who knows? And I'm sure I'm going to find some other like nonfiction and fiction books to read. But these are the two for sure. And I believe these two are going to be ones that are on repeat. And with these, I usually will read a few pages every day, anywhere between 5 to 10 pages a day. And usually in the evening for this book. Next, I'm going to talk about reading. So reading. In one of my other videos, I think I mentioned it in the Pursuing Purpose. But here is the Bible that I am reading from right now, because I'm reading the Bible in 90 days. And so I wanted something that was small, this is, they call it large print, but it's not large print, but it's large enough for me to read. And so I'm reading the Bible in 90 days. And so this is the one that I'm reading. This year for reading, I'm reading NLT. I love NLT. And so this is the Bible that I'll be reading. So I'll be reading 90 days, and then I'll go right into an annual reading plan. And so I read between this, and then this is my normal size Bible, and this is also an NLT. I love this one because it's a life application Bible, and I do still have like my study Bible, and I have another study Bible as well. But these are the ones that I read from because they are NLT. Now, so these two. Now for my 90-day reading plan, I will put it in the description bar, which is a plan that I created with ChatGPT because I wanted to just go through and read the entire Bible before slowing down and reading it a little slower. And once I slowed down to read the Bible, I decided that I'm going to read it using, I'm honestly just going to go back at the beginning and just start reading. And I believe I'm going to end up using the reading plan that's found in the Bible recap. Now, this is a resource that I bought last year. And once I saw how it was set up, I was like, you know what? This is going to be once I'm done with the 90-day reading. And so this will be my, like, the rest of the year. So it'll go until into the first quarter of 2026. And I like this because it just explains what's going on in the passages that you just read. And so I'll read it in the NLT and then I'll look through this. And I'm sure I've been trying to keep this clean. I have a feeling that it's not going to be clean this year, but we shall see. We shall see. So these are the resources that I'm using for reading. Y'all, hope this does not, I have them stacked, y'all. I'm just hoping it doesn't fall. Now, the final thing is a Bible study. So for a Bible study, I've already said that I am, after I finish the Bible, read the Bible in 90 days, I will be doing, starting to study the entire Bible. And I'm just starting at Genesis. I've in the past have read the Bible, front to back, many times, and then I've read it a couple of times chronologically. I don't like having to remember where I need to be and bouncing around and all of that. I just want to start and then just keep moving forward, because I believe I have a good cadence to do it. But just in case I don't, I'll just keep moving, and I just like the thought of that, so I don't have to overthink that aspect of it. But with that said, I'm gonna talk about the easiest. I don't know which one. Okay, so I have a regular the study plan that I have in mind that should have it to where at the latest it'll take me 4 years to study the entire Bible. But then I have my old reliable NISB Bible, and in this Bible there is I think it's 3.5 year study plan to study the entire Bible. Now, I'm gonna try to go to it. I think it's I've already started this, like, when I studied quite a few of these books, either between participating in Bible study groups or leading them. I believe this one is 3 years though. Here it is. Yeah, it's 3 years. So this is what I'll use to sort of guide me if need be. And when I'm studying, I will have this right by me, since I will be using an NLT. Whenever I'm doing an in-depth study, I always like either the NISB or the NASB as my study Bible, so that a lot of the other resources will work along with that, and it's closer to the original. I don't study King James anymore, and that's my preferred study, and NLT is my preferred reading. So I have my NISB. I also have the Spiral Bible. Now, I was waiting on this. This is why this came a little bit late. I got the entire Spiral Bible for that in the NLT version. Now, I could have done this in another translation. When I saw that it was an NLT, I was like, that's the one that I'm going to do. And I'm going to do a look inside of this because I really like the setup of this. It reminds me back when I used to set up my own Bible study pages, and they're already bound. I think it's 5 of them that I have to have the entire Bible. And so I will be using this to study and take notes as I'm reading. And so I have this. So I'll be reading there, but taking notes in the Spiral Bible. The final thing that I have is the Experiencing God Bible Study. Now, this is a 12-session Bible study with the video access, and I'm going to be starting this next week. The reason why is because I'm not starting the reading the entire or studying the entire Bible while I'm reading the Bible in 90 days. It's a lot of reading. It's a lot of reading. And even though this says 12 sessions, I plan to just study it a little bit at a time with the intent of finishing it around the time that I finish the 90-day Bible reading. And if it takes me a little bit longer, that's fine. Right now, I'm enjoying the book so much that I can start this after that if need be. So it's not I'm not rushing, but I do believe that this is going to be an amazing study. If you haven't seen this, it is, number one, it's a beautiful study. I absolutely love when they have places for you to write in. It's colorful. It has description, illustrations, and it just seems so interactive. And if it's anything like the book, I feel like it's going to be on point. And so, yes, so that is what we have here. Like, look at this. I just love stuff like that. So this one I'll be starting this soon. The final thing that I want to share is going to be some of the resources that I have to be able to read on the go. So my reading Bible that I showed you goes everywhere with me. When I went out today to run errands, my Bible was with me. So if I ever have some time to sit and I can just read another chapter or two, I do. And I just love it. I really, really love it. Now, I have this little zipper pouch that I got from a conference, and I keep it in the same bag. And so what I did to be able to make everything portable, even when I'm moving around the house, is I limited my Bible study tools to just a few items. And then when I have extended periods of time to study, that's when I can pull out all the colors and everything else. And so I want to show these because right now they're working beautifully for both the book. Also, it will work good in the Spiral Bible, and it does well on the thin pages of the Bible as well. So here's what I use. Is it right here. And Post-it notes to take notes that can stick in there. And I would recommend, if you use Post-it notes on thin Bible paper, get the cheap kind. I know sometimes they don't stick as well, but it'll make it so that if you have to remove them, it won't rip your pages. Now, if you get the expensive kind, this is like right in between because it's from an office supply store. If you get them in like an in-between kind, or the more expensive ones, like a name brand one, put it on your shirt a couple of times or your pants before you stick it in your Bible. That'll help so that you won't have any issues. And whenever I do it, let's see if I can find a place. I put it sort of towards the inside so that it's sort of out of the way. So like, and so I can just, my notes are here. I can put more if I want, but I can lift them and still read. This Bible does not have a lot of space for notes and all that, which is why I have other things. This is to read. And my highlighting is limited, but there's just some things that are always just going to pop up. And so for this Bible, I use this to highlight. This is a Faber-Castell Pitt pen. Y'all, these aren't cheap, but when I I lost my page. But when I decided I wanted it to be portable, just like my reading for my work and clients, I needed something that I could use in any resource. This is my little bookmark. I'm putting it back. That I can use in any of the resources without any bleeding or ghosting. I also wanted to pick a color that wasn't obtrusive, but you could still see it. So this particular color is so light that you would almost miss it if you flipped through, but when you're on the page, you can see it. And that's what I wanted. And so for the Bible, my Bible, I use this one that's almost like this soft, it's lilac, because it's almost like a soft lavender. Let's see if you can see it. Oh, see against this one, it still doesn't make it good, but it's a lilac. And I bought this at a art supply store. And for book reading, I'm using another fabric. It's a Fabric Castell, and this one is hard to read. I don't know why they made it white. It's a Pitt Artist pen as well, and this one is a warm gray. Y'all, I love this. I'm gonna see if I can show you the lilac. And I went into the an art store to get some other supplies, and they had a little display, and I told them what I wanted, and one of the ladies was like, yeah, try these. They last forever. And when it dies, I can just go back to the store and get another one. And so, yeah. And so I'm going to see if I can show you here. See how light it is? But it's still there. And then for the warm gray, y'all got stuff everywhere in this book. Here's a good place. See that? It's just right on time. Now to mark scriptures, I use blue. Just because it's the color I always use to do that sort of marking in whether I'm reading for myself or reading for work. And so I use blue, and this is one of the like aesthetic highlighters. You can also get some of them that are like this same sort of vibe and ink style that are like Mr. Bible or something like that. There's a bunch of brands that do the same thing. I just have a pack of these. And then when these are done, I'm going to find a blue in one of these because I really do love them. And I honestly would like an orange too. If I could have a blue and orange and then my standard color, but these just work beautifully. Now for writing, I use this. And this is a, oh Lord. I don't know, Sarasa. I don't know. It's like, I think it's a Japanese brand. I found these on Amazon. They do not have black. The pack has a dark blue, this dark burgundy, and another color. I can't remember what it is, but it marks well in books. It shows up well. The point is perfect, especially if you have a small space. It's a 0.5 on the tip, and it doesn't bleed, and it shows up really well. I'm going to see if I can show an example. Now, one of the things that I really love about these particular resources is that, here we go. See, you can see it shows up really well. Is that these items are good quality and they will last a while. And that's another reason why I wanted to pick just good quality tools that I won't have to replace a lot. And that it'll be easy to replace those individual items and not have to go just buy a whole pack of highlighters that have 50 million colors and I'm only using a couple. And so now when it's time for me to get down, like when I'm studying, y'all use all the colors, and I have those too. But these can fit in here. And this is also like my art bag that I carry with me. So I have, my Sharpies and my Archiva ink pens and stuff like that. But those are blue, green, and burgundy. Those are the three colors. Here's the blue one. And so they can go in this, and it just tosses in my bag. And it makes it so that at any time I can stop, sit, read, put it up, and keep it moving. So I usually keep my Bible and the book. So I have my Bible and right now this book with me pretty much at all times. And yeah, that's what I have. So with that said, as a reminder and a caveat, you do not have to do all of this. This is just to show you as, to be of help and inspiration. Definitely let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I'm already on my way. We're the third day into the year. I'm doing my Bible reading plan. Oh, that's the last thing I wanted to show you. For my Bible reading plan, even though I made a pretty printable to share with you guys, I did not want to carry around a printable. So what I did is I wrote the Bible reading plan out and I put it inside of my Bible. So here it is. And I just glued it inside the Bible. So everywhere I go, I have the Bible plan. I don't have to look for a bookmark. I don't have to look for anything. It's already glued inside my Bible. So that's what I did with that. It was just so much easier. I just sat one day watching a show and hand wrote out the scriptures and put little check boxes. And then I glued them inside of my Bible. And so, yeah, that's what I have. Now, coming up over the course of this year, my intention is to come back and share with you guys how everything is going, especially if you have questions or if you're interested. And it may end up eventually being not on YouTube. Maybe it'll be something like a podcast or something like that, because I would really like to do like weekly updates, even if it's just for myself. And especially because I'm reading right now in 90 days, which means I don't have a lot of time to just sit and luxuriate in each passage. I'm reading everything and then moving forward, starting to study. So I'm still like picking up on stuff that makes me want to stop and study. So I have to just write it down on a Post-it note and keep going. But I think it would be very interesting to have a sort of documented this 3 or 4 year journey. And it starts with right now. So if you all are interested in that, even if it's little updates in the midst of other things, I really would like to make it as a standalone thing. Honestly, I feel like it might be some sort of like an audio recording or something very light, so that I don't have to overthink it, but also that I am holding myself accountable. And because y'all, if you haven't, when you start really studying and reading the Bible, sometimes it's just like, oh my goodness, there's so many things that even if I've studied it before, it doesn't matter. Like, you see stuff new again, even if you've read it 100 times. And what's so interesting is this book, Experiencing God, talks about that so much, about how, everything that we have when it comes to our relationship with God is about experiencing and being in a deep relationship with Him, not just knowing about Him, but knowing Him. And that's what this all is about, right? Like, as you're studying. And that was one of the reasons why for this journey, I decided to do the NLT, because I know me, when I'm studying the NISB or the NASB, y'all, your girl gets deep into the nitty gritties. And there's something about this that makes me feel like I want it to have the vibe of not an interview vibe, but like we're going and having coffee vibe. And it's already feeling that way. Like, I can't wait to sit back down and start reading again. And every time I stop, I'm reading. And that already feels so good. And not just to be stuck on feelings, but it feels more relational versus a requirement. And so, yeah. So before I get into all that, that is what I have. I'm sure I will I toss in a journal. I'm almost always reading like your Pray 100 Days. Those books, I still use those. I love them. And so, yeah, I'm sure it'll be some mix here and there, but this is the core. And I really believe it'll be the core for the entire year. And honestly, going forward, the devotionals could change. The reading books may change, but the core studying and all that, unless something major happens, that's going to be it. So with that said, that is my faith stack for 2025 as I know it today. Definitely let me know if you have any questions. As always, thank you for joining me. If you haven't done so already, do your girl a solid. Thumbs up this video. Comment below, y'all. Y'all be watching, thumbsing up. Nobody says anything. Comment below. Let me know what you're reading. If something caught your attention, was something that you've seen for the first time, or something that is also a part of your lineup, let me know. And I will be seeing you all really, really soon. Actually, really soon. Like I'm recording right after this. And that's it. So with that said, have a fantastic day. I will see you all hopefully sooner than later. Take care and goodbye.